Word has it that Formula 1 are set to speak about maybe introducing a new point system, which, if it goes ahead, could be introduced as soon as next season. This new system would see points go down to 12th instead of 10th, and the points scored for finishing between 1st and 7th would be unchanged to what they are now, 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8 and 6 respectively for the top 7 finishers, but from 8th down to 12th, the points would be dished out as 5 points for 8th, 4 for 9th, 3 for 10th, 2 for 11th, and 1 point for 12th. This system makes sense, and if it is introduced and the point system does change, then it wouldn't be the first time it's changed, because F1 has seen a few different point scoring systems throughout its over 70 years history. Between 1950 and 1959, points went to the top 5, with an allocation of 8, 6, 4, 3, and 2, and then 1 point for the fastest lap. In 1960, they dumped the point for the fastest lap and gave that to the P6 finisher instead. Then in 1961, and I do find this one a wee bit strange, the point system was the same for the Constructors' Championship, 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. However, for the Drivers' Championship, the winning driver scored 9 points instead of 8. Yeah, that one doesn't quite make sense to me. If someone can make sense of it, feel free. That split was binned for 1962 though, and from then all the way up until 1990, the point system sat at points for the top 6 on a 9, 6, 4, 3, 2, and then 1 allocation. During this time, there was also another kind of strange, if you ask me, factor in that only a certain number of results counted for the championship. In some of the years it was for both drivers and constructors, in other years it was just the drivers. Like for example, between 81 and 90, only your best 11 results counted towards the Drivers' Championship. That factor got binned off in 1991 onwards, a season which saw the winner score 1 more point to score 10 points now, and points the rest of the points all allocated the same, which is how things stood until the end of 2002, where the following year the system changed again, and between 2003 and 2009, the top 8 scored points on a 10, 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 allocation, before things changed in 2010 to the system we all kind of today, with the top 10 scoring points on a 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1 allocation, with a superior change coming in 2019 to introduce a point for the fastest lap again if you finish inside the top 10. So while the system hasn't changed all that frequently, this new proposed scoring format would be far from the first change to the scoring system in Formula 1. And honestly, I back it. I think the changing with the points going down to 12th, it makes a lot of sense. Because right now there is a clear top 5 teams and a clear bottom 5 teams. You have Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, and Aston Martin, the clear top 5, and then you have VCarb, you have Williams, you have Haas, you have Alpine, and you have Sauber as the bottom 5. And that means if you're one of the bottom 5 teams, it isn't as easy to score points. You're kind of relying on one of the top half of the guys, the grid guys, falling off the rod or messing things up or having a failure, or Lance Stroll being Lance Stroll, and really you nailing everything also kind of. So if you extend the points down a couple more positions, it could mean that those guys will have a better chance to actually score something. And if one of the top guys does fall off the rod, then they'll be in for more than just 1 or 2 points. It could be 3 or 4 or 5. And points mean prizes when it comes to the Constructors' Championship. And by prizes, I mean monetary, because that's the championship where the money lies, after all. Not to mention, it means that we'd be less likely a bit to hate teams scoring absolutely nothing all season. And right now, 5 rounds into this season, there is 3 teams with no points: Williams, Sauber, and Alpine. All 3 of those teams have had their respective issues, which have scuppered their kind of not helped their chances in scoring points, but the point remains that they have nothing on the board yet. Now, it would not surprise me if some of the top guys don't agree with this change and would prefer to keep the current system. And this article from Autosport says that it is understood that there isn't looking to be a unanimous support for this proposal, talks for which will reportedly take place when the teams at the FIA and F1 gather for the F1 Commission meeting. But this article also says that the proposal would only need 6 of the teams to back it for it to be introduced next season. I mentioned at the top of the video that the points for 1st to 7th would be unchanged, and apparently keeping those top positions as salmon is a way to try and get the big guns on board who've been reluctant to make changes before. And this proposed change has reportedly come from, as Autosport understands, some lobbying for the smaller guys who believe it'd be an improvement for them and also F1. And I have to agree, as I said, it'd give them more chances at scoring points because they wouldn't be able to just rely on an incredible incredible performance or driver for the top 5 teams hitting a bad day. And I mean, yeah, in every race so far, except for Bahrain, then there has been one of the top 5, the driver for the top 5 teams having a bit of a bad day, at least one of them. But my point still kind of stands. I personally will be a little surprised if this does not end up getting introduced. It just needs 6 of the 10 teams to support it, and it would be brought in, apparently. And I'd be very surprised if VCarb, Haas, Williams, Sauber, and Alpine don't all back it. So aside from those 5, you just need one more team for the top half, then you're good. Easy. Well, okay, I say easy. To me, it seems like getting F1 teams to agree on things is like trying to put out a fire with a chocolate fire guard. But this is one where I could see a lot, no all, but a lot, agreeing on. The top guys still hit their points on chance, and the bottom guys hit a better chance at scoring something. Everyone wins. What do you think of this new proposed points format, though? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.